Okay, so if we go down the political party, like we had Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek's great.
Yeah, so I want to get to, okay.
I'm happy to be
I'm trying to learn
as
from your perspective.
political as possible. So
tell me about the candidates that could possibly, like, we had Robert Kennedy Jr. sitting right where you're sitting.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on somebody like him and Donald Trump and Biden? Like, I want to understand the policy, because I go on the streets, right, and you hear a guy on the bus, oh, you believe in blah, blah, blah. Well, he talks this, he does that. But I want to hear about things that they're actually doing that you agree with and you disagree with. I actually want to hear some of the things you agree with them too.
Okay, so, boy, which one do you want to start with? You want to start with Biden?
I do want to start with Biden.
Yeah, okay, I think he's a traitor to the country and a craven, evil maniac.
Wow, that was a pretty. That
Besides
went
that,
right there.
He's
huh?
a nice guy. No, I mean, look,
Besides that, he's a
I
nice
mean,
guy.
you can't.
Has he done anything that you're excited about?
He hasn't. He's actually, the fact that he hasn't given the green light to bomb targets inside of Russia recently is probably the best thing he's done. He's actually like slowed down some of the maniac neocons in DC.
That's really nice.
That's good.
I'm very proud of you.
No,
That's
like,
nice thing about them.
The fact that Biden actually said recently, we don't want to escalate this further against Russia, is like the most responsible thing I've seen from him. And he's been incredibly reckless on this issue, but
Cool.
was actually surprising.
But see,
he
like,
has this,
I like that.
He has
That's
this
nice.
raving lunatic, Victoria Nuland, going on TV saying, we have to go bomb the interior of Russia. Like literally, she just said that. I mean, that's how you get the unthinkable that I said previously. So no, look, Biden has been a disaster to the country. I don't want to spend too much time on Biden. But RFK, so RFK, I think he's great on the vaccine stuff. He's great. I'm a big medical freedom guy, like very big on medical freedom. I think we're being poisoned actively by corporations. First of all, he's not going to be president. He's not going to win. But secondly, he's liberal on almost every major issue.
So you're writing him off completely. He's not going to win.
No, there's zero chance.
So then why is he getting up every day and trying so hard?
Well, because maybe he's trying to run for the Democrat nominee next time. I mean, think about this. RFK Jr. is a major winner of this campaign. He was relegated to like political obscurity as being labeled as just an anti-vax guy for years. No one would interview him. No one would take him seriously. Now he's in popular dialogue and discourse. He is the most talked about living Kennedy.
Got it.
Yes, right?
Fair.
And there's a lot of living Kennedys. You turn over a rock in Massachusetts, there's a Kennedy, right? He's the most talked about living Kennedy, and he's getting his ideas out there. And I think he's a true believer in certain stuff, but he's far left-wing on the environment, on abortion. He says no restrictions at all whatsoever, even if it's up to the point of gestation, which is insane. It's evil. It's cruel.
Elaborate on that. What does that mean?
He sat down with Sage Steele, who is a former ESPN anchor, and she's terrific. She's a black patriot, and she asked, do you believe in any restrictions when it comes to abortion? And he says, I believe in allowing the woman's right to choose and not getting within doctors. Same thing. She said, just to be clear, even at 9 months, so woman is fully pregnant.
9 months.
9 months. Even France doesn't allow this. Just to be clear, okay? And
Picked her hometown. Nice.
Yeah, but no. And France has just enshrined abortion in the Constitution. They don't even allow this kind of late-term crap. And he says, no restrictions. I'm not going to allow it. Which means he is so held hostage by the child sacrificing base of the Democrat Party. I just have to say it, right? Because
I love how you took a second to see if you weren't going to say it, and then you're like,
yeah,
I'm going to say it.
I'm just going to say it. It's just sacrificing children at the altar of Molech, which is what it is. It's 1 million abortions a year. And like, oh yeah, at 9 months, baby's fully developed, can survive outside of the womb, boom, we can do it. So he offered no moral clarity at that point of time. He's come on my program. Again, I have a lot of respect for him on the COVID stuff because I think he deserves credit for that. However, he's not going to, A, be president, B, he's super liberal, C, I think he's disguising how radical he really is to try to win votes from both sides. And then my man, Donald Trump. I mean, I'm very biased. I've got to know him really well. He's been incredibly good and gracious to me. But here's how I want people to think about this election, because there's so much noise, okay? For the first time since the 1892 election, we now have 2 independent presidential terms that we can compare. So in 1892, we had Benjamin Harrison versus Grover Cleveland. And Grover Cleveland served as president prior. Benjamin Harrison beat him, and then Grover Cleveland ran again. So in 1892, voters were like, okay, which president was better? Was it Benjamin Harrison or Grover Cleveland? They chose Grover Cleveland, who, like Trump, won, didn't win, and then ran again.
Yeah.
So the question is this. On 3 issues that I believe are the most important issues, who has the better record? Number 1, on the economy. Where did you feel more comfortable financially? Inflation, purchasing power, more stability? 4 years of Trump, 4 years of Biden. Over 75% of voters agree it was Donald Trump. It's not even close. Second issue, war. Under Joe Biden, we have new wars in almost every single theater. Potential war with Iran. We have issues with China. Obviously, Israel, Gaza, Israel, Hamas. Ukraine, Russia. Donald Trump was the first American president in 40 years where there were no new wars started. No new wars, period. Blessed are the peacemakers. There was no Putin in Ukraine. There was no Israel, Gaza. It was stability like we've never seen. In fact, there was an Israel peace deal called the Abraham Accords that Donald Trump brokered. And the final is the border and just this idea of mass indifference to crime in this country. Crime is like my number one issue, to be perfectly honest. I think that if you allow the small stuff, you get the big stuff is excused. I'm talking about theft, arson, and of course, entrance into the country, 3.5 million people breaking in and invading the country. The border was the most secure under Donald Trump. So those three things are the things I think how you should analyze this election. Which president did it better? It takes the guesswork out of this election when you go to fill out your ballot. So when you fill out your ballot, usually an election is either one of two things. So for example, in the 2008 election, Obama v. McCain, it was two visions for the country. But we really don't know how they would be as president, right? In 2012, it was one record versus a vision and a challenge. So you had Obama v. Romney in 2012. This is different. This is 4 years, you judge who did it better. Yeah. Which president were you richer? Which president were you safer? Which president had more stability domestically? And it's not even close. It's not okay.